Quick live stream here. Just doing this real quick here to give you guys a wee update regarding to how things are with Farquhar. Right, so this is going to be the first of two videos which I'm going to be uploading tonight. So there's obviously this one here which I'm doing right now. This is an update for you guys, and there's also the next installment of the Miniature Railway Adventures feature story, which is due to come out at 10 p.m. tonight. So hope you guys stay tuned for that. Okay, so last time we were here, what was I doing here last time? Uh, I was doing something. I think it must have been adding signals or something onto this here. I really can't remember. But yeah, I really can't remember exactly what I did last time. But anyway, I thought I might give you guys just some wee updates to what's happening with Farquhar right now and what is currently happening with it. So, I probably got this idea during, I think maybe a few days or so after I came back from the Audrey extravaganza, and I was having a looking over Farquhar, and I was just thinking to myself, right, is there anything in general that I kind of need to do to this layout to, update in a certain way or improve it in terms of its running purposes, not there? And that was when I actually had a wee look over um, the whole sequence of Farquhar, and it was also like the one that we were using during the extravaganza with Mark II. And I was thinking to myself, right, I wonder if there's a way I can probably incorporate a bit of this into Mark One. But you see, with Mark One, it operates with a certain collection of rolling stock, and I did some talking with the people who own the original Farquhar layout, and thank you, plane. Every time when I do one of these recordings out there, a plane always chooses this moment to pass by. So yeah, this is what happens. Anyway, uh, whilst I was chatting to some guys, I was asking are there any like details like sequence cards not there regarding to Farquhar Mark One that might be of any use, and apparently there are some. There actually is a couple that were found, and I've been having a really look through them, and uh, apparently it does feature some different rolling stock that the Farquhar branch has, and so um, I thought I might try and have a go at doing this sequence, and so I've been busy trying to gather up the last remaining rolling stock that this layout had. Some of this actually does make its way over to Farquhar Mark II, but other than that, there doesn't seem to be all that much. I think there's only like maybe just a couple of vans extra to Percy's train, but that's about it really. So I've just been busy really trying to gather up all the remaining bits of rolling stock and try and work out exactly how the whole sequence goes. That also incorporates both Daisy and Mavis into the sequence. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do right now. And in order to do this here, I had to add in some new parts to the layout to make things run a bit more smoothly and just to make it all easy to operate really. So just bear with me one wee sec here. Sorry, I thought somebody was going to come in there at one point there, but uh, yeah, what was I going to say now? Oh yeah, yeah. So in terms of like updates and all that, there, like improving the layout and that there. So one of the few things that need to be sorted out with this layout was obviously this is like one of the new improvements here, which is the siding really. So I'll just move these wagons across. These are some wagons that are part of the next sequence of the new sequence, but obviously you remember this siding here. You would have remembered in the past that this one was a bit more of a gentler curve leading into the siding, but I actually found out looking through some photographs and out there of the original layout that this actually curves off, so it curves off a bit tighter round and kind of meets up with this buffer stop here. So I decided to do that. I think I did try and do this in the past. Something kind of prevented. I think it was just probably the tight radius out there I was very concerned on, and I think it was at the time I was using a different Thomas model. I think it wasn't this. it wasn't this one. It wasn't my replica of this Thomas. So it was. Do you guys remember the white metal one I did years back? The Southeastern Fancast one. That was a model. I think I still have that somewhere. I really don't know where that model is. I know it's somewhere in my collection somewhere. But I do remember in the early stages of building this late, I was using that Thomas model, and it used to derail quite a lot when going onto this siding here. So I was worried in case this would happen with other models. If I did ever get a repaf Thomas model, which I eventually did, would this happen? But thankfully, I tested this here with both Thomas, Percy, Toby, Duck, Daisy. Well, not Daisy, but Mavis, and they all seem to work on. They all seem to go on around that curve fine. So that's a godsend. So obviously that setting's here to stay. Obviously, I had to change over this position of this coal bunker because originally that used to be sitting here on this side of the tracks. And so looking at the photographs again, it actually is on this side. So that's a wee bit of a thing happen. Hang on, am I muted? No, I'm not muted. Sorry, I thought for a second I was muted there because I saw Braden's comment there. Sorry, Braden. Let's see. What was I going to say now? Yeah, and also like I was saying, like this is on the wrong place, and the water column was in the wrong place as well. So, yeah. Let's see what else. Oh yes, here's another one which needed to be updated, which was the crossover sections. These were the main problems. So you can see here, there's actually a section here where there's no ballast. So the track is just literally just hovering on the spot. So originally, from the very start, these boards had a couple of connecting points, like bits of track that were soldered to screws into the board, and I was trying to help align the tracks together when the boards are folded up or folded together or assembled and so forth whenever I'm taking the shows. And these were the main problems during operations. Now, if anybody had ever seen the side of shows and would have seen the trains running, there's always a chance. I'm sure Tim Fjord and Oddline Zying and Luke Ryan will know about this here, but there was always a chance. Every time when the train goes over this section here, over the crossing, it would derail. It always happened. And no matter what I did to try and level it all up, it still derailed. So I thought this time round was, I thought enough was enough. I'm going to fix this once and for all. But what was I going to do? So obviously, I still want to take this layer to shows, and it needs to be folded up. So what was I going to do? Simple. I make this section of track and the section of track in there removable. So it's very simple. So basically what I do is that I take a standard bit of set track. This is second radius, I think. I think it's second or third. I think it's second radius actually, this bit here. So second radius here, and then it's third radius there. I don't know, there's different radiuses here. So take a standard bit of set track here, remove the inserted rail joiners and put on some streamline ones. And the reason why I use the streamline ones is that they're easy to move around on these rails than the set track ones. And then cut a wee bit away from these sleepers here, and then I'm able to slide the rail joiner across, remove that piece of set track out very carefully. That's keep the same rail joiners that were the original rail joiners from the set track on this side, so I can be able to plug them in okay. Take that bit out, and the same thing on that end, and then I can just fold it out over when I'm taking the shows, reassemble those bits here, same bit over there, click, and it's back together. Did a few tests around here with some rolling stock, and yeah, the derailments have gone. So that's a huge improvement. Then there was another issue. As you can tell here, the foam ballast, which I'm using, it's a different shade of colour, isn't it? Now it's going to be a bit of an eyesore, but unfortunately it's something I have to live up with until the time comes to actually permanently ballast this track. Now, people are always wondering, why are you using foam ballast for your track? And why did you not properly ballast? The original layout of Ffarquhar was properly ballast, so why did you not do that? It's very simple. And the couple of reasons is, first of all, it's quick, it's easy to install, it's sound deadening, and personally, I actually quite liked it. I've used it since I was a kid, and so I wanted to use it again. So most of all the foam ballast on this here is Pico streamlined and set track foam ballast. And then when I went to see about ordering some more to fix these bits here, I found that Pico have actually now discontinued this product because of several reasons, really. But the one main reason is that people are complaining that this stuff actually deteriorates after 10 years. And that is true. And some of my old layout tracking out there, which had this foam ballast on, it has deteriorated away to powder, or it just crumbles away to little clumps. But if you remember back in the early days when I was building this layout, I didn't actually glue, because most retailers say you have to glue the track to the foam ballast in order for it to probably stick right out there. I didn't glue this on. All this track is literally just held onto this foam ballast using pins. So this was all planned from the very beginning. So if this stuff ever deteriorated or started to crumble away, I can easily just lift the track up, hoover up any of the hoover up any of the dust of the foam ballast that's left over, and then just replace it. So, Thomas Thirst, hello. You promoting your own content on my video? I am not a content promotion platform. Even though I am promoting Miniature Row Adventures at the start of this live stream, but that's it. I digress. It's my own product. Anyway, right. So maybe, he says, maybe. Of course you are. Anyway, I've lost my train of thought now. Yeah, I was talking about the foam ballast, wasn't I? Yeah, so anyway, Pico have now discontinued this stuff here because of the whole complaints of the deterioration out there, and everybody's all moving on to using proper ballasting and all that there. So when it came to actually buying more of this stuff, the only people who actually sells this is Hornby, and this is a bit of Hornby foam on delay. As you can see, it's literally a bright grey. So chance I can paint this to try and tone it down with the rest of the stuff here, but I don't know. Maybe I'll see what I can do here. Maybe I might give it a couple of washes or something, maybe. SB Tractor Thomas Theories commits product placement in other stores. Yeah, that kind of sums it up, really, mate. Anyway, let's focus on this video now, please. Right. Again, I'm losing my train of thought now. Yeah, so anyway. So, the foam ballast and blah, 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 blah. I actually was, instead of using the Pico stuff, I actually was going to see about using Gauge Master foam ballast, because they actually do this stuff as well. And unlike Pico, their one actually comes with ballast already fitted onto it. And when I looked up to see if I can buy some of that stuff, Gauge Master have also decided to discontinue this product. But I have seen Nock have I bring out a new form of their foam ballast with the same ballast texture out there. So chances are I could maybe use that instead, but we'll see what the future holds. But for the time being here, the foam ballast is absolutely fine right now. It's not deteriorating at all. I can just do a check there to prove. Yep, still solid, still good and secure. So I think it's okay for a couple of more years, yeah. But yeah, that's one of those features that need to be fixed. Now, obviously, I've been talking about this end of the layout. I was saying, in terms of fixing the track on here. What about the other end of the layout? Because, there's a hill in the way. Yeah. So, how are we going to fix that here? Oh, yeah, before we continue on, Sir Dan the Man. Yes, I haven't forgotten about that offer you gave me here, so I will get in contact with you for that, about that foam ballast you have. Yeah, pretty much mentioned this to Dan here, and he's pretty much come to the rescue in this here. So I will be seeing about buying some bastard foam underlay from him, and maybe at some point Ffarquhar will have real ballast, even though it's foam underlay. But we'll see how we get on. Here. Anyway, let's get back up to the topic at hand here, because how long have I got till this major everything comes out? Right, we're still good for time. Still good for time. So let's press on. I'm very excited about this miniature railway thing. I really am. Anyway, focus on this video, Michael. Focus on this video. Right, so this is all covered with a hill. Can't get access to the tracks. there is an access door here for the railman out there, but no, it's not really good. You know, hands are very big, can't get access there. No. I could get access it through there, but no, can't do that. So what's the best way for me to do it? Well, that is very simple. Just rip the hill up. Don't worry, don't panic. I'm not destroying the layout here, but this is actually I am going to see about making this an actual removable piece of scenery. And the Reverend OG actually has done stuff like this, like with his mid-story layout. He actually did make pieces that were removable so he can get access to various points for maintenance. So here we have the inside of the tunnel, and as you can see, it is very, very basic, very dull, nothing special. And you can also see the boltswood track bed that I used, which replaced the foam underlay, which actually used to be in here at the very start, which I'm very glad I did here, because that actually would have saved me a lot of trouble if that foam deteriorated in there. So anyway, as you can see, the piece of track, which I have ready at hand, it's all prepped and ready to go. I have some Pico power clips installed. Now originally this track would be have the power wires soldered on. Oops, come on, phone, keep still. I would have the wires to the track soldered on, but they were actually soldered onto the brass screws that were on those realignment parts over there. So I decided not to use those anymore. So instead I'm connecting up these new wires here to these power clips, and so that's going to be the new source of power. So like I said, you know, when it comes to assembly, just have to carefully align the track up here and make sure that it hasn't gone in right. Try again. Yep, that's better. Right, so that's connected on there. And you can see the tracks there. Slot in there, slot in there. Okay, good joint there. And then with the pliers, I'll just slide the rail joiners over along there and fix that. Now, when it comes to actually getting the power, because this track's going to be removable, how am I going to get the track power to the track? Yeah, that's kind of correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 3 plugs I used to use. I bought these plugs to connect the power from one side of the board to the other. So obviously I don't need those anymore. These were taken out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect one of these here to these tracks here, and the other one, which has mysteriously vanished, but no doubt will resurface again at some point. The other one will be poking out for a hole in here. So all I need to do is basically just slot it in, and that's pretty much it, really. Obviously, it just make sure that the wires are tightened away here. Make sure that there's no ways of the trains catching against them when everything's running. But that should be all fine and dandy, really. So let's put the hill back where it was, because as you can see in the comments here, everybody's freaking out that I've destroyed the hill. But no, don't worry. Look, see, it's all back together. It's all nice and secure. Everything is all back the way it is. See, the hand of God has now fixed it. So, but yeah, but anyway, this bit here will be, like, you know, removable here. It will have a bit more of a proper shelf slot feature out there, so I could just slot it in and slot it out when the time comes to remove the track. Right, what else needs to be updated as well? This section, this is the Quarry Branch siding, or the Quarry Branch track, so to speak. And this is pretty much the section of the track which allows the trains to do a roundy type movement. You know, it's a good way to try and help get the trains running in here. But anyway, the reason why I want to update this here is because apparently this actually has 2 isolation sections. So apparently in the later version operation sequence of the layout, Thomas and Daisy are stationed in this bit at the very start of the sequence. So I need to have a holding station for them. So obviously I have one isolator installed on this already to hold, I think, for Toby, but I might actually install another one here. So I'm going to install another one of these boys, these little isolating clips, station them in here, and that'll hold Daisy in place. So Daisy will be stationed here, and then Thomas will be stationed in there somewhere. Also, you're probably wondering what these are here, these little symbols. Apparently on the sequence cards, the Revenant OG does mark exactly where each section has to be which loco or stock has to go along to, and so this gives me I decided to mark these on here because that'll be an easier way for me to work out what to do. Plus, whoever's operating the layout with me at the time will be able to figure out as well where everything has to be as well. GL Productions, have you considered making a Bloomer replica? Yes, one is being planned, but it's on hold at the moment because I have a few other commitment projects to work on too, like Mace Railway, but also there's another Thomas Audrey replica model which is currently in the making right now. I did promise this on the live stream on the Audrey Extravaganza live stream, and yes, I'm going to see about tackling Donald. I'm going to have a go at making Donald's model. Donald didn't run on the original Farquhar Mark 1 layout, as far as I know, but I am going to make a model of him to feature. Douglas, maybe. We'll have a think about this here. Douglas, there might be a Douglas video or a Douglas build made at some point, but we'll see how we get on. So, what else? After this bit here, what else have we got to sort out on the layout? Pretty much rolling stock, really. So as I mentioned here, we got new rolling stock needs to be sorted out to be built up here. So we got a few new ones here. So move Percy to one side here. Thank you, Percy. So obviously one definitely needs to be replaced is this cattle wagon. I definitely need to get a new cattle wagon. This is actually I think it's a Parkside Dundas model. I think. We'll see if we can. I might see if I might get another one of those kits maybe, or I have a Dapple cattle wagon kit that I'm gonna make up anyway because that wagon dated back as far as Ffarquhar Mark 1. So anyway, yeah, we got some new rolling stock here. Not these two ones here, but obviously these ones are. So we got a United Dairies tanker wagon here, and of course we've got the siphon here as well. So that was that's recently just had its Sparkle couplings fitted on here. So I just need to get the NW and numbering applied to that there, and also I didn't know the original model had this, but they actually had little milk churns inside. So I need to get some milk churns put in there. Now the United Dairies wagon here, that actually, it says in the sequence that this is being hauled by Toby, and I can't give any details as to where it goes, but it has some purposes along the way. And of course we have this gunpowder wagon. I have seen this wagon being used on Ffarquhar Mark II, but that was like a very long time ago, like so back in 2008, would you believe? Oh, it's been so long. But yeah, this wagon will be making an appearance on Ffarquhar. Scruffy, I think he came around for Mark II, I think, but a Scruffy model will be made just in case. So, because as far as I know, Farquhar Mark 1 had a collection of rolling stock, and you know, not all of it was all the ones that you see before you. So some of it was just like a mix match of what wagons the Reverend Orgy had at hand. So like take this one for example, which was the Peterborough Co-op Socially Limited, I think, or whatever it was. Obviously this is like a very old wagon because it's the paper decal has all faded or aged greatly. But this was originally meant to be grey, but it's now come out very yellowed or very brown, but it's actually quite nice, actually. Really quite nice. So, but yeah, this wagon here was actually used on Ffarquhar Mark 1. So, you know, like I said, I would like to try and get as many wagons as I possibly can that did showed a certain time period where that Ffarquhar Mark 1 used. So, like this one, for example, here, there's another tanker wagon of mobile oil that was used. Trying to find a wagon that matches it, but we'll just have to see what happens. See what I can find. I could probably maybe alter a triangle model and just try and get a decal model oil or something on it. See how we get on. What else do we need? Oh yeah, this brake van. Yeah, this is not like the old Graham Farage brake van. This is one I'm currently undergoing work on. Now I bought this many years back actually, and as you can see, it's missing its chassis because the old chassis was not really good. So yeah, try and get that one sorted out. Try and find a chassis for that. Let me see what else. I think there's another brake van I need to get made, but I'll just have to wait. You had no idea Audrey made a Scruffy till the Audrey X? Yeah, Yeah, apparently Scruffy was around for quite a while. In fact, I remember first seeing Scruffy back in 2008 when I first saw Farquhar Mark II in the Cultural Model Railway show. That was quite an event, that was. Thoughts on the new Bachman? I think the owner's the Hunter truck wagon. Yeah, I'm going to see about getting that wagon because I think that wagon might be good as a guest appearance on this layout. Because maybe for around Christmas time, if my layouts ever show is ever exhibited at shows around Christmas time, I think that wagon will probably make its appearance on this layout as part of Percy's morning goods train. So where that this wagon here, this one here is, that's going to be taken over. That Bachman wagon will replace that only during Christmas time. So that's that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all. Oh yeah, you're probably wondering. Yeah, a new Daisy's being made, so it's being worked on. A friend of mine's actually asked me during the when I finished making this new Daisy, he wants some of the leftover parts of that DMU unit, so I must remember to send those out to him once I'm finished. Let's see. Soda Train 1225. Did the Reverend make a Terrence? I remember seeing an orange kid bunch doing your time to fit video years back. No, he didn't, as far as I know. Though he did have a tractor model on the layout. There were a few tractors actually on the original layout. There was one here with probably a grass cutter thing on it, I think. Not sure. I need to look at it again here. And then he also had like a Matchbox traction engine here as well, which I need to try and get here. But at the moment here, in its place is Rory, who who I've now acquired to be an additional feature on Ffarquhar. So it's just a little camera appearance. It's not the Rory, by the way. Just it's not the one here, but it's my own model of him. So we'll see. Well, I don't think I'll give him a face, but he will be stationed at various parts. But we'll see how we go. But yeah, just want to get that out of the way in case anybody just randomly says, "Oh, look, there's Rory." Yeah, but yeah, I think that's pretty much all that needs to be sorted out right now. Last bits I need to talk about this layout. Well, current models. Current models are currently being worked on right now for this layout is Annie and Clarabelle. They're currently having some renovation done to them. In fact, I'll bring you over to them here real quick here because might as well see them. Right, move the Doritos out of the way. Oh yeah, better move that out of the way. That's a secret project. Pretend you didn't see that. Anyway, right. So, yeah. So here's Annie and Clarabelle right now. How they currently look. So as you can see, they're currently being stripped down for renovation purposes. So one of the main issues I have with Annie and Clarabelle right now is it's just their looks. It's I know people will say like, oh, they do look really, they look the part now over there. They don't. To me, they don't. There's something missing about them. I keep looking at the original models. I'm thinking, what is it I'm missing? It's just something's not right about them here, and I think it's basically just it's either the windows or the sides of the bodies. It's something is just not right with them. So I'm thinking about maybe actually. It's also very unfortunate that my 3D printer is actually packed in right now. It's really the printer head that's packed in here, and I can't find any spares for it. But I've sent a message out to the manufacturers and see if there's any way I can get another one made. But we'll see. But yeah, I have designed like a 3D print file for like new sides to place onto these here, and I really wish I had done this before the printer clapped out. But you know, that's what happens. So, so what I'm going to try and do here is that they need just have new sides put on here. I'm going to maybe cut out all these windows here. Just have this be like one streak of just open sides, and then once the new sides are put on here, they just like glue them on and you know just paste on. That's it. Smart enough. but yeah, it's also the paintwork as well. I know I mentioned before, like we kind of roughly solved what was the color shade for Alien Carbon, and we're still not sure yet. I mean, I said it was I'm sure I said it was Humbrol Gloss number 9, which was tan. That's currently what that is. That's currently what that is right now here. But I still think it's a bit too bright though for these characters. So somebody who I did meet at the Audio Extravaganza said that if there's going to be one next year, he's going to bring one of those like digital color registration devices, or what they have in hardware shops. If you want to try and like get a certain color mixed, they would scan the color and try and trace it there. So chances are they'll try and figure out what shade they are, and see we can finally find out what color shade they are and have a custom paint mix for these here. But for the time being, I think I'm going to try and maybe I think I'm going to use this shade of brown. So this is actually this is actually a prop for Miniature Railway Adventures. Again, I'm sorry I'm promoting another product here of mine, but this is just for reference here. But yeah, the blue the brown I'm using for this here is the same paint that I was used on Puffer's real model, which is Plastic Coat Nut Brown. And I think I used this on these models before. I can't remember if I did or not, but I think this brown looks the part for Annie and Clarabelle. So I'm gonna paint that. I'm gonna paint these models in this color, and see how we get on with that. And also I need to get new decals and all added onto this here, because that's definitely needed, because that was something that they were missing from their last exhibition. And also the sideboards as well, side footboards need to be sorted out. But unless I can get some new sides made up, printed for these here, this is currently how they're going to be looking for the time being. And yeah, like I said, need to get stuff sorted out for them. What's this comment here? Have you heard of Sample MC? He makes audio replicas as well. Yes. In fact, I've actually talked to him a few times. I'm really impressed with his models. In fact, I think he's done a better attempt at making the Revan Audrey's Toby model than I did, which is one model that's definitely needs to be revisited again at some point. But we'll see how we get on with that there. And yeah, there's the man himself, John Thomas. So, would you believe it? He actually failed me yesterday. This model actually failed me again, and it was literally down to one of the drive gear wheels had slipped, had literally come unstuck from its axle, and I was panicking as to whether or not this model out of commission again for good, and were we ever going to see this model running again? But apparently it was a very simple fix here. So bit of Loctite on the axle there to secure the gear, and that's pretty much it, back working again. So that's good. He probably could do with a smarten up of his paintwork again. I think I probably would need to redo this lining, because I think it's a bit too bodgy. Yeah, definitely need to do it again, because I think all this was done. I think all this lining was done in a rush. So yeah, we better have another look at this model again. So I think it's back to the Dettel bath for you, Thomas, and we'll give you another repaint. See how you go from there. But yeah, I think that's about it, guys. That's all I can think of in terms to update you guys in terms of this replica. Again, I don't know what my next video will be for my main channel, but as I said before in the past, I'm focusing now on my second YouTube channel, which is dedicated to Miniature Railway Adventures. Like I said, we got another new video coming out 10 p.m. tonight, which is the next installment of the feature story, The Adventure Like No Other. Progress on the animated series is really going very well. I'm actually really surprised as to how well it's progressing. Official animation has started, and it's looking really good. The first set looks the part, which I'm really thankful for. And of course, the voice cast have been amazing. And also the team that's currently being formed here, we have like weekly sessions talking about the scripts and animation process and all that there. So I'm really grateful that we have a team put together for this here. So yeah, definitely looking forward to this. So yeah, if you guys haven't heard of the series, go to my other YouTube channel, Mini Railway Adventure, and please do subscribe to it, because there's some stuff there I think you guys would be interested in, or not, depending what your taste of storytelling would be. But yeah. Sorry, Disorder down the man. Will you get a Volkswagen Beetle on Mark 1 or Mark 2 in reference to the Revenant Nova book? Um, I might. It's just trying to find. I want to try and get one of the original Belinda the Beetle. There's one, because I know in some later illustrations she's actually portrayed as a Volkswagen Beetle, but there is another earlier illustrations that John T. Kenny did where Belinda is portrayed as a different car. So I would like to try and find a model of that particular car and use that as Belinda, but we'll see how we go from there. Right, uh, that's pretty much it now, guys. So, for those who wants to see the next installment of Major Railways tonight, I'll see you then. But other than that, stay tuned for any future updates regarding to Farquhar, which might not be until maybe next year, but we'll see how we go from there. I'll let you guys know. Take care, guys, and I'll see you soon.